So whosoever is joining, kindly enter your email ID in the chat box. So hello everyone, I'm Sakshi Rana from CSE Department, third year, CMRIT College. So I welcome you all on behalf of the whole UiPath community. You are here for the first introductory event of Introduction to RPA, a UiPath community event, which is going to happen in CMRIT for the first time. With me, there's Rajneesh Khare, student developer from UiPath community, and Aditya Haldar as an RPA developer and today's speaker. So moving on to Aditya Haldar, over to you.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this session of RPA. And I'll be taking you through some slides and be describing what RPA is, what is its scope, and how it can be applied on a day-to-day basis. And so we'll move on to the slides. So basically, RPA, it is a technology that enables a software program to mimic human actions, like whatever inputs we can give to a computer on any personal interactions with the computer, we can all mimic those typing, clicking, or reading data from screen actions using RPA technology. So these all tasks can be quite repetitive and exhausting. So RPA is there to cut short the time and makes us easier to implement them and also save us some time. So as I mentioned before, it can RPA can mimic human actions like typing, downloading data, or web scraping. These all actions can which we perform or interact with our personal computer can all be implemented using robotic process automation. Also, the most crucial benefit point of RPA is that it has a wide variety of desktop application which it can implement it upon, like all the softwares which are available in the Microsoft suite, like Microsoft Outlook, PowerPoint, Excel, and many more. Also, any web browser application that you have on your computer, like Opera Mini, Firefox, Google Chrome, these all can be operated using RPA technology. And RPA can read structured data like any data which is present in the form of rows and columns or has a sequence of index structure. These all can be read through RPA, and as well as the unstructured data. Like if we take an example, we have an Aadhaar card and there is some list of data inside it, and we can scrape that or fetch that data, put in an Excel sheet. These all can be using RPA robot, and it can extract the data efficiently. Also, as human beings, we are prone to make mistakes due to fatigue or exhaustion. But using RP robots, we can nullify this error as they have precision and consistency, which makes them not prone to making mistakes while execution. And RPA, as we will know in the following slides, is very easy to implement, and it does not depend on the huge amount of data which we are interacting with. So it is very easy to scale down due to the flexibility of robotic process.
End of this session, I'll design a process in front of you similar to this. So there I will tell you what are these things and how does this function. So let me run this process for you so that you can see it, how it works. And I'll also close this window so that you can see a new window opening when the process is run. So I'll go to the process and I'll click run. Let's see what happens. We are waiting for the robot to start. This is actually the software robot which will run a process for us. Now, as you can see, the website is opened and the fields are starting to populate. These are the same entries which were there in the Excel file. Now you can see they are filling by themselves, and the submit button is being clicked after each field has been entered. You can also see that the fields are constantly changing. The position of the fields is not same, but the order of the insertion is same throughout. That is the precision and accuracy of data entry we can achieve by using RPA. So this was a glimpse for you what type of processes we can automate. So you can see the robot is still running and entering the data. So for now, I'll stop this process and I'll show you another process similar to this. Now for the another process, what I'll do is I'll take this Excel sheet It has a name column and a role in company column, and I'll take the same website RP challenge and I'll try to fill these entries in that. But in this process, what I'll do is I'll send a mail to an account, and the robot has to read the mail with a particular subject of new task, and this Excel file will be attached in that mail. The robot has to download this file, extract data from this file, and then enter it to that website. So first of all, let me send a mail to myself to another account. I'll send a mail to this account with a subject of new task, and I'll attach this file which I showed you. Here it is, and I'll send it. Let's see if I have got it here. Let's refresh. Where is it? Okay, so I've got the mail from another account. The subject is new task, and here is the Excel file which I attached. I'm not opening this mail, so you can see the robot will open it and read the Excel file for us. Okay, so now let's run the process and let's see what happens. I've initiated the process. The robot will soon start running the process. Here you can see the robot has started. It will open the mail. It will open the attachment which is attached in the mail with the subject of new task. It will extract the data and it will open the website, as you can see, and it will start filling it. These were the entries in the Excel file. You can match them if you want. And it is doing the task which it was supposed to do. These processes are made beforehand so that I can demonstrate to you. At the end of the session, I'll make a detailed process which will be more complicated than this, so that you will get an overview that what is this UiPath Studio software, what are its attributes, how you can use it. So for now, I'll be handing back over to Adit to continue the presentation.
Okay, so we have now there's a common confusion that RPA uses robots. So are these robots to be confused with the daily robots we interact with? So first of all, it is to know that these are not some walking topic or talking robots or humanoid robots that are fancy to use or have some basic operational functions, or some warehouse robots which operate on the physical or tangible components in our day-to-day life. These are software robots inside the UiPath software, which are to be implemented and which performs basically the execution of those tasks which we can perform on a software level, which are easily available in the IT industry. And now these software as to how they are to perform, so they will never replace human resources as completely in the industry. And we will take more examples of what these robots can do. Suppose if you are working in a software firm and every time you log into your computer web server application, you have to enter some certain fields. So the robots by automation will be able to do all those mundane tasks over and over, how many times you want to execute them, and log into the applications. Or if you want to move some files and folders, so these robots will be able to move all the subfolders or the files included in them to the target destination folders. And we all know that how exhausting it can be to read or write data from the databases. So because they have hundreds or more number of codes, these can be easily using or achieved by using automated robots, or be it scraping data from the web, connecting to the system APIs, or even extracting PDFs or some datas from email attachments which have different extension, but these are not any problem to the robots because they can easily isolate them. So also how RPA can be impacted in the business departments such as education sector, supply chains, IT department, HRs, client services, accounting, or operations. Suppose if you take an example of education, we all are included in some club or something. They organize frequent events or some scheduled meetings. If I have the details of all the listed club members and I have to send an email to each and every one of them, this can take a huge amount of time as well as can be quite exhausting. So we can automate a robot, lay down a sequence of instruction that these are the members who have to be sent a mail, and easily they can be fetched through the mail, and we will be able to automate this process using the RPA robots. As well as HR, if a monthly annual performance is to be estimated, we can send a memo to each of the members by automating these processes. So now any software new which comes into the IT industry, we need some powerful benefits of them, so we can be able to switch from our existing software to the new one. So the major advantages of RPA are, first of all, increased execution speed, because we are using automated robots and not human employees, so they don't have the factor of fatigue or exhaustion, and they will be able to operate 24/7, or whatever the scheduled time we or interval we implement them upon, and will have a high execution speed. Also, since we are using robots, they have a high accuracy or precision they will be operated with. And we have also some compliance, like as humans we will be using some data, or we will be fetching some data by mistake. We can also open some confidential information, which is a risk factor always existing. But since we are using robots, and they have always a specific instruction of what data to be fetched or operate upon, so the data integrity, or the data which are only accessible to the users, or which everyone gives access to, will be opened. And suppose if we are to achieve a task, we will have to use some resources like the skilled labor, or the resource, or the place allocation. These all are quite expensive. But since all of these tasks can be automated using UiPath Studio, the cost of process execution can be minimized to almost to a null value. And now, since the data is to be handled on sometimes in a huge scale or a small scale, because of the flexibility of robotic process automation technology, we will be easily able to scale them up and down. Now we will see some impact of RPA on our day-to-day life or social basis by Sakshi Rana. Over to you, Sakshi.
Okay, so moving on to the next slide, which is growth and opportunities. So we all know that why we should shift to some another software or some another technology. First, we'll visualize the future, the growth, what the market is going through. So for RPA, the future of work. Basically, by 2025, 85 million jobs may be replaced by 97 million new roles with new divisions between humans, machine, and algorithm. Moving on to RPA market size growth, the global RPA market size was valued at USD 1.4 billion in 2019. So now, why you guys should become an RPA developer? The blue points which I have highlighted in the PPT. So first one is increasing job demand. So robotic engineers are second most emerging job in the US with 40% of annual growth. How much it will cost in Indian rupee? Daily activity RPA job postings. So let me tell you, literally, this is the true fact that 5,000 plus active UiPath RPA developer jobs posting in the US, and only 1 out of 8 are being filled. So it's an opportunity for you guys to become an RPA developer and earn as much as possible you want. Pay for what you are doing. Moving on to the next slide. So why choose RP as a career? From the given start, you can see that the what estimated it was to be placed and what it is emerging right now. More than even COVID-19 also. It's in billions. Now, UiPath was voted as #1 on G2 for RPA and low code category in all 4 regions, including Europe. So if you want to Google it, you can obviously Google the UiPath community is on the #1, and it's in RPA developing state, and it's above Microsoft also. So if you guys want to Google it, you can. Moving on to Aditya Haldar. So Aditya, please continue the presentation, and Rajneesh, carry on with the presentation. Thank you.
So guys, you have had enough idea what RPA is and robotic automatic process is. So, but when it comes to implementing RPA, UiPath is the biggest leader in the market, and it is because it provides 3 main core components that is easy to use. The first is the UiPath Studio software, which I showed you at the start and where I executed all the automations. It is a desktop software and it is completely free to use for any community members. You can download it and use it free of cost. There are two versions of it, the UiPath Studio and the UiPath Studio X. The Studio is more code based, where you can attach your codes, the basically Python codes, and you can also implement AI ML concepts to enhance your robot performance. The UiPath Studio X focuses more on low code versions, where people with low code knowledge can also design simple processes and automate their tasks. Now, let's say you have built a process and now your robot is ready, but you don't want to every time open your studio and run the process. For that purpose, you can deploy your processes on a platform known as UiPath Orchestrator. Now, UiPath Orchestrator is a cloud-based platform where the processes which you have deployed on it can be run from anywhere and at any time. You can schedule your process when they have to be run. So basically, all the processes you run can be unattended. You can be anywhere in the world and you can still run the processes on a particular machine, and you don't have to care about it. You can also monitor them. You can manage the robots, how they run. You can execute their times. And then comes the concept of robot. The green application which always ran here whenever I executed a process, that was the software robots which we are talking about from the starting. That robot takes care of the workflow which we have designed, execute each step simultaneously according to the given instruction. Now, this is the glimpse of UiPath Studio, which you also saw here also. It is an integrated IDE, which is very handy to use. It has many basic features like click in a mouse, enter in keyboard data, scrape in data, enter in data, read in mails and attachments, and you can basically automate any desktop application or any web-based application. And you don't need to worry about learning it thoroughly, because whatever basic task you do, you can search it like click in a mouse. So you will get a click option or double click option or press in a keyboard button or press in a shortcut. So this was UiPath Studio. Now this is the interface of UiPath Orchestrator, which is a cloud-based software. I'll show you this also in the later part. So this is where you can see all of the processes which you have deployed, how they are functioning, what is their success rate and their failure rate. You can also manage your assets, like whenever you need to log into an application with your credentials for, let's say, passwords. So you don't want to enter your passwords in the process so that it is vulnerable for everyone to see. So you can hide them here. So the process will extract it from here and it is safer. It is on the safer side. And the UiPath robot concept is basically divided into two types of robots: the attended robots, which is here, and the unattended robots. The attended robots, the example was when I showed you our basic process running. That was an attended robot. Basically, attended robots are those which require an human intervention. I have to run those robots. I have to see how the process is running, and I have to see what is the stats of that robot, the unattended robots. Now, installing UiPath Studio and Studio X for yourself is very easy. This is the basic instruction how you can do it. I'll be sharing this link for a detailed link for doing this in the WhatsApp group later on. So we can skip this for now. And now comes the part where I'll show you to build a very good automation use case which you can relate to. So this is the UiPath Studio interface which you have seen. This is the window when you see whenever you open UiPath Studio. Okay, so from here, new project, I can create a process, automation, a template, whatever. But for now, I guess my screen is not visible. I'll just share it. Okay, so this is the UiPath Studio welcome screen. Whenever you open it, you get this screen. And from here, I can create a new process just by clicking here. I can give whatever name I want and leave all the parameters to default and hit create. So for this demonstration, I've already created a process demo. So I'll just go to it. So this is the interface. This is a very good IDE. Here is the blank space where all of our planned workflow will be available for us to see. Now, here you can see here is an activities bar. So in this bar, there are all the activities which you can think of you can do with the system are available, like clicking a mouse, opening an Excel file, opening mails, clicking keyboard, pressing shortcuts, anything you can imagine is available here. So now coming to the use case which we will be building is, I have opened a website here. This is mygov.in/COVID-19. So this is the website of Government of India, which has all the stats related to COVID-19. And what we are going to do is we'll open the statewide status of COVID-19. Here it gives us a table. Here you can see the table. This table has all the total cases, active cases, discharged patients, death rates of the statewide, and this table is spanning in only one web page, as you can see. Fine. So what we are going to do is we'll make a process in such a way that it will open this website. It will open this table. It will extract all of the data of this table and store it in an Excel file. After that, what we are going to do is we'll attach the same Excel file in an attachment and send it to someone via email. Okay. So this is our process in two parts. So first of all, we'll try to open this website and extract this table in an Excel file. So for that, let me take this window to a new tab. Fine. For that, in this activities tab, I can search for an activities like use application or use browser. So if I search use application, I have this activity use application/browser. Okay. So now as you can see, it asks me to indicate application to automate. So when I click on this, it automatically detects the tab which I'm currently opened on. So I just need to click anywhere. When I click on it, you see it has automatically detected that we have to use browser Chrome and we have to open this URL mygov.in/COVID-19. Now inside this window, what we are going to do, let's see. Inside this window, let me reload this so we get the interface when it is opened first. Okay, so when this website is open, we need to scroll down and click this tab of COVID-19 statewide data so that the table appears in front of us. Okay, so let's do this part. Okay, so I'll go back to my studio. So I need to perform a click function. So let me search for a click function. So when I search click, I have many types of click, double click, click image, or click double click an image. I just want a simple click. So I'll pick it up and drag it in my do window. Now I need to indicate the element on screen which I need to click. So I'll click on this. You can see it is automatically detecting various kind of element which is available on my screen. I can just click as an explicit feature of data scraping, which is right here. I'll show you what it does. As soon as I click on it, it prompts me to open the browser or application from where I want to extract the data. And I need to click any field of the table which I want to extract. So I'll click on next. I can select any of this field and it will automatically detect a table. Let's see. I'll click on this field and it says you selected a table cell. Would you like to extract the data from the whole table? So I'll click yes. And now as you can see, it is giving me a preview of the data which it has extracted. It is I guess it is the whole of the data which was available on the website. And here is a parameter which asks me the maximum number of results which I want. So, and that 0 is for all. So I'll just type 0 because I want all of the data and I'll click finish. That is it, but not. It also asks me that if the data is spanning over multiple web pages, but our table was only in a single web page. So I'll click on no. So up till now we have extracted the data, and if you want to see where it is, you can click on this activity extracted data and click on properties. You see it is stored, the output is stored in a data table and the name of the data table is extract data table. This is a variable. It is the data table is stored in this variable. So I'll close this. Now what I need to do, I need to store this data table in an Excel file. So for that, we have a functionality called write range. So I'll search for it and I'll drag it right below where we have extracted the table. Now this activity asks for some parameters. The first one is the workbook path. So up till now we haven't created a workbook or an Excel file. So we need to provide the path for it. So we'll browse for the path. We'll store it in the same destination where our process is. So I'll copy this path and place it here inside double quotes. And I'll give it name COVID data.xlsx. And this is the sheet name and this is the starting address of the cell. So I'll leave it as default. And here we have to provide the data table which we need to write onto that Excel file. So we just now saw the name of that table was extracted data table. So I'll type, here is it. So up till now, we should get an Excel file which will have the data extracted from this website. And one more thing we need to do is we need to see the property of this write range and check the add headers bar so that we get the headers also of this table. So the first part of our process is done. Let's check if this works fine. So I'll close this window just for a new instance open for our process and you can see it. I'll click on run. Let's see how our process works. The robot has started. It has opened the website. I will scroll down and it will open the table and it will start the extraction of the fields. Okay, the process is finished. Now let's see if our the Excel file has been created or not. So I'll go on that folder. It was demo. You can see that the Excel file name of COVID data is created in current time, and I'll open it and see if we have got all of the data or not. As you can see, the data is extracted well from the website, and we have all of the data which we wanted. Now, if we were to do this task manually or just by copy and paste, you would have lagged somewhere in formatting, or you would have lagged in time, and it would have been a repeated task. But this took only couple of minutes. So we have done the first part of our process which we intended to do. Now what we want to do is we want to attach this Excel file into a mail and send it to someone. So for that, as you guys may be familiar, we have concepts of SMTP and IMTP. For send in mail, we use the protocol of SMTP. So UiPath provides with those protocols also. So I'll search for SMTP. Here I have send SMTP mail message. So I'll just drag it right below the previous activity. And I need to pass the standard mail parameters to subject body, and I need to attach the file which I'm supposed to send. So with stats, and I'll leave the body as empty and I'll click on attach file. Now this opens a dialog box. Basically, I need to create an pass an argument to the file which I want to attach as in the mail. I'll click on create argument. Don't worry about these parameters, direction and type. You will learn them if you pursue a simple course. In the value field, I need to provide the path of the file which I need to attach. So I'll paste the path which just now we copied, and the name of the file was COVID data.xlsx. I'll click OK. So, but you can see there is still some error because we have not set up our SMTP server. For that, I'll click on properties. Here you see we have to specify the server and port for SMTP. You guys might be familiar with this concept. So for the server of SMTP, I have the server written here, smtp.gmail.com. That is the SMTP server for Gmail. I'll type it here. And the port number for SMTP is 465, so I'll specify here. Now I need to also specify the email and password of the ID from which I want to send the mail. But since I'm showing you the process, I'm sharing you, so I don't want to share my credentials with you. So for that, I have the cloud provider for UiPath, which I discussed previously with you. Let me show you the orchestrator. So this is your UiPath orchestrator where all of the processes which you deploy on cloud will be available to you. Once you deploy those processes, either you can run it from web or from your mobile. There is a dedicated app also for it. Now I'll show you how I'll hide the password so that the process can't see it. So the UiPath orchestrator provides me a feature of assets where I can store my credentials which I want to be hidden. So I've already created a credential in the name of mail credentials. I'll I'll open it so you can have a look inside it. It is type of a password credential. So I've given my user and username and password to it. You see, if I can also not see my password now because it is hidden. So I have already created this credential and I am going to use it in the UiPath Studio. I'll ask the process to extract my password and username from the orchestrator and use it here. So for that purpose, we need to get the credential from the orchestrator. So for that, we have an activity called get credentials. Okay, here is it. I'll place it just before setting up the SMTP server. So we have our username and password ready for to pass to the SMTP server. So the asset name was mail credential. I copied it, so I'll paste it right away. And if you see the properties of get credential, the output of this activity is a password field and an username field. I can create variables for these two so that I can pass it to the SMTP activity. For password, I'll create a variable with the same name as password. And for username, I'll again create a variable with same name, username. The password and username variable will be populated by the get credential activity, which will get these credential from the orchestrator, which is in the cloud, so that nothing is available for the process. So I'll pass these variables in the email and password field. The email was username and the password, I don't want to type it explicitly. So here is an option of secure password. So I'll pass the password variable. Okay, so we have set up our SMTP server. We have attached the Excel file which we wanted to send to the mail, and I'll show you the mail also. This is the mail. This is the recent mail. I have nothing up top here. Now when I run this process, I should get a mail with the subject of COVID stats and with the Excel file attached. The website will open. The robot will scroll the page, open the data table for us, start extracting data, put it into an Excel file. Then credential will be taken from UiPath orchestrator. Until the time I'm speaking, it is already done. So let's see if I received a mail. I'll click refresh. Okay, I got a mail from my another account. This is the subject which I stated, and here is the Excel file which I attached with it. Let's open it and verify if it's the same data. It's offline. Wow. Let me try to download it. It's downloaded. Okay, as you can see, this is the same table which we extracted. So in this example, you got to see how we can automate a desktop application, which was Excel, how you can automate a web browser, how you can even read from emails, how you can even write emails and send them. I was doing these tasks explicitly, but you can, once you are familiar what you want to do, you can set up these robots in a timely fashion. They will be executed by themselves. Suppose you are someone who wants to send these statistics on a daily basis of COVID to someone, so you don't need to update them by your own. So you can time this process and you can put it on cloud and you can run it from anywhere. This will happen automatically to any number of people you want to send or any number of data you want to extract or send. Now this was all about the demonstration part. Now we will move back again from where we left. So if you guys found it interesting, you can start it from where I started. UiPath provides a free platform, that is the UiPath Academy. This is an online resource which has all the courses related to RPA from basic to advanced level at free of cost. The content is very good. It has video tutorials, live examples, and what all you can practice is available free of cost. And it is also self-paced. You can do it whenever you want. And moving further, you can join UiPath community because it is a really expanding community at a very exponential rate. People are joining from all over the world, and especially in the Asia Pacific level. This is introduced new, but the results which we are seeing are amazing. And the UiPath community is a very big community throughout the world. We have around more than 1.5 million professionals in this community, which are dedicated to learning RP and providing the same knowledge to others. We have the Academy platform, which I told you just now. We have a forum platform as well, where you can discuss your doubts with the professionals and other peers as well. And we have community events every now and then happening across the globe. We have also done many conferences, many events, and we are planning to do some hackathons as well in this region. They are already happening throughout the world, but it is new in India, so we are planning to do efficiently. Now, if you guys have any doubts or any sorts of query, you can unmute yourself and or type it in the chat box, and your host Sakshi will be taking over.
Okay, so before that, let me tell you one thing. As we all know that natural things are good. We all know that natural things are good, but hybrids are amazing. Am I right or not? Is there anyone? Okay, cool. Yeah, Shweta, hybrid is amazing. That's what I'm telling. If you have seen the RP example with application software right now, but imagine if RP will be combined with AI, ML, IoT. What's gonna be the hybrid? It is already happening in India. You guys should join the UiPath community. Moreover, the fact which I am right now explaining, just listen it carefully. So, according to a Gartner forecast, the global robotic process automation software revenue is projected to reach $1.89 billion in 2021, an increase of 19.5 from 2020. So, what's worth noting is that the adoption sentiments was not marred by the pandemic, showing significant trust in the technology. Well, that what I'm saying is like we all are contributing. So you guys also should contribute in UiPath communities. Any queries? You can unmute or type.
So if you guys are wondering where to start with and all, so regarding that, I'll be sharing a form in the group with all the links where you can get started, and I'll be collecting individual information whosoever which wants to start their RPA journey. So I'll help them throughout. I'll say where to start, what to learn, and I'll help them join the UiPath community in an efficient manner. And the community is such, if you join it today, you will get recognized tomorrow if you do good work. So opportunities are there for you. You just have to take them. Thank you.
Thank you guys. You can now leave the meet. Thanks a lot.
How did you find it, ma'am?
Yeah, it's very good actually. Students should learn about all these things. It's a new area.
And
Yeah.
They should explore more.
basically, ma'am, V2 is also introducing RPA in fifth semester as an optional subject.
VTU?
Yes, ma'am.
Uh-huh.
7th semester.
Yeah, seventh
Okay,
semester.
okay,
Sorry.
okay. Yeah. It was wonderful.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.